Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think I need another earphone because I'm hearing this tapping noise in my ear. Are you hearing that?
No.
Okay. We're not recording on. Oh,
we definitely are.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, boo.
How are you?
Well, interesting day, but we'll discuss later. How are you? Sounding a little sick?
Yeah. I got sick the end of last week. And
don't blame it on Lil Saint.
Crickets. Since you don't want me to tell the truth. But his little butt gave me his cold and my mom. So my mom is actually sick as well. She don't sound like me. But yeah, and then I had to go out of town this weekend.
Oh yeah.
My daughter had a cheer competition in Richmond. And that requires a gang of energy and activity. And it wasn't like a one-day drink. So he was there for the weekend. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't really able to get rest. I was taking Dayquil, during the day. But I came home and didn't feel no better. And here we are about to approach, a week now?
Right.
And yeah, I
think last week we were both catching a cold, but I started pumping myself with vitamins and medicine because I had a bar crawl to go to, and that was really important. So I didn't want to be sick.
See, I should have, but I was taking I'll take NyQuil real quick, but I was taking NyQuil and I was trying to up my little water because I was like, I just want to stay hydrated. Whoop-de-whoop. But yeah, water and NyQuil. Yeah, it didn't help.
It didn't work.
And my mom is super dramatic. She's like, maybe you should go to the doctor because people are thinking that they have colds and it's something way more serious.
That is true, though.
I know, but I'm not.
Okay. That's what's up.
I want to feel worse before I go to the doctor.
All right, listeners, let's pray for Dice and keep her, covered in the blood.
I'm just saying, I don't want to freaking go to no doctor and she really, bitch, for a cold.
Drink some Pedialyte, bitch.
Bitch, you got 2 old kids and you coming to me for a cold. If you don't sit your ass down and get some rest and get some chicken noodle soup. So, yeah.
I don't want to make this a Black thing so early in the podcast, but
chicken noodle soup and ginger ale is all I need.
No, Black women need to start taking their health more seriously and demanding that their doctors take their health more seriously because I got a motherfucking word for my doctor, but carry on.
Well, yeah, that's it. My voice sounds horrible, so listeners, my apologies to you. I know y'all was thinking Shay had a special guest on his joint.
Shut the fuck
but no, it's still me. I'm just a little under the weather. But how was the weekend? Tell me about everything.
Oh my goodness. So the little one was at her dad's house. My boo and I we said we were going to have date night, but we just haven't been able to schedule one because it's been all this other stuff. So this was the first time. I won't even say it's the first time we've been without child. I think that we were broke or something the last time she was gone. So we didn't do anything. So I had bought these tickets to this bar crawl a few weeks ago. And then the bar crawls from 3 to 9. And then from 9 to 1, there was a Mardi Gras celebration or something that was after. So I had brought tickets to that, even though I regret it.
He was hurt.
No, I regret paying for it because you could have gotten the fucking event for free. The Mardi Gras joint.
Yeah,
they gave you a free drink ticket, but the drink was disgusting. So, you know what I'm saying? It was
it wasn't worth it.
I could have just went there for free. We ended up leaving because the drink was trash. And then we were both old and seriously.
Tired.
We was legit in the house at 10 o'clock. Damn. What happened to us, homie? We used to be able to. Yeah. We wash because when my husband, he don't go to sleep until the middle of the night, but like I go to sleep early all the time, but he'll stay up. Let me tell you, we was both in that bed. We both, like, he went in the second bathroom to take a shower because he was like, "Nah, I'm not even waiting for our shower. Like, we about to take a shower in unison and be in bed at the same time." And
Exactly.
probably by like 10:30, 10:45, we was both snuggled up in the bed, both snoring, slobbering, drooling and some more shit.
That is funny. What?
But the bar crawl, it was fun because, I mean, I guess we are the washed up old ass married couple still trying to have fun. And so it was so funny watching like single people like interact. I was like, oh, this is like, he's a hoe, but it's cute. Like, look at him go.
Stupid.
So, I mean, we have fun. And then Sunday was not fun because I had an allergic reaction to my medicine.
No.
Yeah, like I started getting hives. And
Man, no tire hell.
but I'm hard headed and I'm still taking the medicine because
Because you need it.
I'd rather not be depressed. Like if I gotta be itchy.
But do they have like another like something?
So I have done some research on antidepressants, and this is one of the only ones where, like, if I wanted to quit, I wouldn't have like withdrawals and have to like be weaned off of it. All the other ones target a different part of your brain, and so like Prozac and other ones like Zoloft, I want to say, like if you try to get off of those, it's like a process, and then you might have like serious lows after being off of it. And so I'm just like, all right, if the highs get real bad, then like I'll chill. But like I took some Benadryl, and I mean I still I've like halved up yesterday, and then I did a little bit today, but not like on Sunday.
Right.
So I'm just like, I'm just gonna fight
That's
through it,
scary.
and hopefully my body will just get used to it because I'm really at the point where I really don't want to be depressed anymore. So I'll fight through it.
I know that's right, dog. This weekend, so I know I've been talking about my better eating. Let me tell you something.
You went to the sexy spot.
Yes, indeed, listeners. Y'all that know about croakers, my God, my God. My friends told me about it. I was like, look, when you go down there, this is a spot that you gotta hit. Let me tell you something. It was like the best combination of soul food and seafood, like wrapped into one.
Yes.
Expensive as fuck, I will say that. But it was definitely bomb. And yeah, I'm sure the calories were out of the roof, but I gave not one piece of fuck. I also drank this weekend, so I was just a whole ass not a whole ass backslider this weekend. Oh, also, I actually hung out with the guy, the producer that made the intro music for our podcast.
Oh,
yeah, he is my husband's childhood friend, and he lives in the area, so he actually stopped by a hotel and we hung out. So that was kind of cool. He was like, "Yeah, man, I listened to the podcast and heard my music." I was like, "Look," I was like, "Yeah, we appreciate you, brother."
If we ever get big, homie, we got
Gonna
you.
cut you something.
We ain't there yet, though.
We come up, you come up.
So tell a friend to tell a friend.
Exactly. But yeah, that was my weekend pretty much, and now I'm just trying to
get your life,
nurse myself, get my life in order. But so listeners, we are on episode 28 now.
Good number.
Trucking along. You like 20?
I mean, I was.
Oh yeah. No. I caught it right after I said it. I was like, oh. But this week we will actually be chatting about colorism.
Yes.
And I know on a couple of previous episodes we might have mentioned it, but we are actually going to dedicate a nice little episode dealing with colorism. There have been a couple of things, a couple shows and stuff like that brought it up. So, and a video that you actually told me about that I looked at.
Yeah, so my friend, she posted it on her Facebook page, and she, I guess, light skin. Yeah. So she was just like, okay, so it's the show on MTV. Let me start there. Show on MTV called Decoded. I don't know if it's still on or not. I do know the girl in the video. Her name is Francesca. She used to be my hair envy because she used to have really long locks, but she just cut them recently.
Mm,
But she was discussing colorism, and
got it.
I thought it was a informative video. You know, it talked
Yeah.
about how colorism shows itself, not just in our culture or our, you know, with our race and all this other good stuff. But my
Hmm.
friend was like offended, and she was just like, I don't agree. And, you know, I don't, you know, I've never gotten any special treatment for being light skinned. And when I first, like, I saw the post, you know how when you get up in the morning and you like be in the bathroom, you just be scrolling.
Right.
So I saw it, but it was way too early for me to be on my like blacktism. Like it was like five some in
Right.
the morning. So I saved the
Right.
post and I was like, whenever I get on Facebook at work, I'll go back to it.
Hmm.
So I, you know, because and she listens because she told me to talk about this week. So I'm saying this with love, boo. But you were sounding like a white person, girl. Like
Ooh.
no, for real. Like, you know, when we're discussing racism with white people and someone will be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not racist because my mom was on welfare. Like, that's not what racism means. It doesn't mean that,
Right.
like, you as a white person may not be able to identify with some struggles that some black people have. The same with, like, being light skinned. It doesn't mean that, you know, black, we're going to face things that dark skinned people experience as well. But my G, you can't, I don't feel like you can deny the privilege. And that's what the video was about. The video was about saying, like, you know, there's a light skin privilege, you know. Up until recently, you didn't see more than one like dark skinned actor
Right.
getting praise. It talked
What
up
big roles?
right, you know, you didn't you it talked about the brown paper bag rule from way back
Hmm.
when, you know, it she even discussed people in recent times who have issues with dark skinned women in general, like Kodak Black, oh crunchy looking fucking dumbass.
Child love.
So, you know, I thought the video was informative, but my friend, she wasn't feeling it, and I I said what I had to say in love, and one other person chimed in, and I don't know if she really got what we were trying to say, or she was just like, fuck these bitches. Because she was just like, okay, y'all. But she hit me
Mm-mm.
up in a sidebar and she was like, you know, maybe y'all should discuss this. And then I hit you up because I know we've talked about colorism, like, especially with our hair episodes.
Hmm.
We talked about it, and I feel like we may have mentioned it in another episode, but
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
neither, because, you know, he's so lit. We're on episode
Oh,
28.
so many.
But yeah, so here we are.
So here we are. So for those of you, which I hope you do know the def, I hope I don't sound as bad as I think I sound. But so what is colorism? For those of y'all that don't know, we just want to,
With your dumb answers.
exactly. It is basically the discrimination based on skin color, being treated differently based on the social meanings attached to skin color. Um, the word colorism was created to excuse me, is credited to first being used by Alice Walker back in 1983, where she actually defined it in her book as um preferential, I always have problems with that word, preferential treatment of some race, preferential treatment of same race of people based solely on their color. But as we can see over the years, you know what I'm saying, like it ain't just us against us when it comes to colorism. um Also, for those of you who are like, well, what's the difference between colorism and racism? Simple definition: colorism based on skin color. Racism is based on your race. That means they don't give a damn about your ass if you're light skinned or dark skinned. If you're black, you in that race and we don't fuck with you. So
Right.
that's the difference. So I just wanted to put those out there so y'all not sitting here looking like, well, what the fuck is colorism? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is it? I know, excuse me. For me, I have never, luckily, never, at least I don't feel like I have, and maybe I just didn't catch it. Feel like I was treated any differently because I was, which I don't think I'm dark, but brown, I guess. But I know growing up, like most of the guys will want to holler at the light skinned girls or whatever and be like, oh, she's cute. I'm like, well, Nigga, I'm cute too, and I got long hair just like that light skin joint. So, so it's good. Like, and I'm not snobby like the bitch. So, like, 2 for 2 right here. So,
Oh, don't do
I'm
that.
just saying, I'm going by personal experience on a specific person I'm talking about. So,
Okay.
I'm not
Fuck her.
generalizing. Yeah,
I don't know who it is.
yeah, definitely talking to you, boo. Hope you're listening. But yeah. So, do you feel like you've gotten any preferential treatment?
First of all, I'm not light skinned. I will not let
Um.
y'all label me that. I am brown. I may be on the front end of the brown spectrum, but
Mm,
I feel like light skin is like Gina from Martin.
mm.
I'm not her complexion.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to go down this back and forth on the podcast about your hue of light skinness. But
I I pulled a crayon out of a box once when I was in California, and I sent y'all a picture in the group chat when y'all tried to label me as light skin. I can't remember which shade of brown it was, but it was brown.
beige.
No, it wasn't. And my makeup is not beige. I'm 380 in Fenty Beauty.
So, well, then I ask you this question: do you feel like you were discriminated against because you're so dark? You make
No,
me sick.
I think that I'm just in between. I
Uh,
just feel like I just under the radar. That's what I
you
feel
just
like.
brown like me. We just hanging in the middle, chilling.
We can both be brown and just be different shades.
That's what's up.
I just don't feel like for me, when I think light skin, I think like yellow, like red bone, like real light. And I don't feel that I'm that. But that's not what this is about, God damn
It's
it.
not. It's definitely not.
Anywho, so when so one of the things my friend said in her status was that she didn't feel like there was any privilege that came with her complexion. The only thing that she may have gotten was unwanted sexual attention. And so what I was trying to explain to her was that like that is a privilege in itself. And not to say it's a privilege as in you wanted that type of attention or that's
Mm-hmm.
what you were aiming for,
Mm-hmm.
but you have men who legit will not talk to a woman that is, of a certain complexion. So
Right.
if you're getting that attention, unwanted or not, that is a privilege. Just because you don't acknowledge or you don't like the attention or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that
All
it's
right.
not true. And so I think that's where I was trying to get her to see, like, even in what she was saying to deny that there was privilege, she was basically saying that there was privilege because I have friends that are darker than me, and I've had conversations with some of them, and they said flat out that like they felt some kind of way, with
Right.
we've interacted with like guys when we were younger or something like that, or like I've heard people say to some of my friends like you're pretty for a dark skinned girl and stuff
Dog, I
like
hate
that.
that. That's so ignorant.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't deny that's not there because I even look at dudes like who just like only prefer light skin joints, and not to say, I mean, some of y'all light skin joints because I am brown. Some of y'all look the same,
Mm.
but dudes just be on y'all
And let me
because
tell you
I don't
something.
want to bash. I'm sorry, I take
I
that
don't
back.
want to bash either, but I have actually had a male that I knew in the past that did not date brown or dark skinned girls, only light skinned girls. Like, seriously. And he was like dark. So I'm just super confused because I'm just like, well, do you have a problem with your mom? Because, like, I
Right.
don't understand. Is it some type of self hate that you're just like, this is the only chick that I'm, kind of chick that I'm looking for? And the girl that I seen that he was messing with that was light skinned looked like dirt in the face. I'm just like, you would have passed up on all these beautiful brown women that are actually interested in you. And you up here talking to but hurt Sally just because she checks the box of being lighter skin. And I don't know if that, like I say, is that some self hate or just some insecurities about not loving your own complexion. So I don't know. I don't want to date another person and bring another, you know, beautiful, dark, black person in this world. So let me throw some light skin to lighten it up. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, yeah, I've actually heard a man say that out his own damn mouth.
Yeah, me
It's just
too.
crazy to me.
But that's what I'm saying. When they do pick whatever they pick, it be basic as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I'm not, you know, I just feel like I don't
That's your
know.
only criteria.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
like if
like,
that's your only criteria, then like what about everything else? Because beauty, I mean, whatever complexion you are, beauty fades. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
So what happens, when your
Do they
ass
got the personality? Like, is there a connection
right.
deeper than, oh, I like how she look? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And so I hear people say like, well, I'm allowed to have a preference. And I do think that there's nothing wrong with my problem with preference is when it becomes like you just absolutely will not date, like even men that date white women, if like
Mm,
you only date white women, like you refuse to date black women, I have an issue. That's more than just
right,
a preference. So
right,
excuse me, if I hear someone saying that they only date light skinned people, to me that's a problem,
right.
because your
Like,
preference
why?
should be, yeah.
Your preference is like, well, I'm not just going to exclusively, but, if I had to choose between three girls, this is the one that I probably, if they had all had the same qualities, and I would just go for this one because that's my preference, but I'm not going to turn down somebody else if, like, she's
Right.
lit. Right.
But if I'm being honest, like when I was a teenager,
Mm.
I loved me some little beige rage ass niggas.
Not beige rage.
I really did. I had a definite preference. And although my husband is orange, you know, honey, chocolate, how you doing?
Look.
Kofi, with your little young ass. What's up? But nah,
Look.
I
Lance Gross.
oh my god, girl, Reggie Bush. Okay, there's
Look.
so many names.
Right.
Let me chill. But no, like I may have had a like I don't talk to dark skinned dude moment when I was a teenager.
Oh.
Like I don't know if I said those words out loud, but when I'm thinking about like there were certain people like maybe they were just ugly as teenagers, but like now I'll be looking like, damn, you was in high school with me, you fine as hell. Like what the hell? A
What
weird,
was I thinking?
right? What was I thinking? But the beige, it was clouding my judgment.
The light skinned dudes was calling.
Yeah, I was tripping.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
I was gonna say, we had talked about also the episode of Blackish
Yes.
that came on called Black Like
Did you
Us.
like that episode?
Not one of my favorites.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I get it. They were trying to. It was very informative, but like it was kind of basic on the plot on how they went across with the message. I guess like
What do you like? Keep going. Tell me exactly how you felt about the episode, because then I'm gonna throw my thoughts in there.
so. I get it because like I've been watching Blackish, so I know that the father definitely don't bang with the oldest son, and he was like, basically because I'm light skinned, and his mom, uh, Ruby, always hating on Bo, you know, about that whole situation. But I think that it was extra about the lighting thing. Like I couldn't really connect with that, like that they were that upset because Diane was looking super dark in the corner with the lighting,
Mm-hmm.
and like that was like extra to me. So I was like, it's a reach, but okay, I'll keep going with it. But then at the end, for her to agree and be like, yeah, let's go to the principal's office and we need to talk about it. I'm like, I talk about Diane. I was just like, well, I thought you really didn't care about the lighting, but I guess she was suppressing it. I guess that was the whole thing. She was kind of, it did bother her, but she acted like she didn't have to say anything because her family didn't bring it up. But why would her family have to bring up that, hey, you're the darkest one in the family? So that one, I don't know, it was just kind of confusing to me where I was like, I get it, but I don't like how it was laid out. What did you
Yeah.
think?
Number one, nobody in that family was dark enough to have the complaints that they had for
And she
me.
definitely even carried the father and was like, but you're not even dark skinned.
Yeah, and I was so happy when she said that, because when when Dre, that's his name on there, right?
Dre, yeah.
Yeah. So when Dre and Ruby were like, cause what I've had to experience, I was like, but y'all, like, not even dark skin. Like, if
Yeah.
y'all are standing next beside Tracy Ellis Ross, then maybe, but like, y'all not Wesley Snipes out here. So I don't understand like the struggle
Right.
that y'all are talking about as far as colorism, like racism, sure, but colorism, I'm like, uh,
I don't see it.
I don't see it. And even Diane, I'm like, Diane isn't even like, she's the darkest one out of everybody on the show. But
I
even
feel like she's like my complexion.
that's what I was saying. I was like, Diane's not even like,
She's not dark.
that was my thoughts. I
Right.
felt like though the episode, and I felt like it's focused too much on the light skin issue than the dark skin issue, and although that's what it was about, and they did make valid points. Like, I do think that people make fun of light skinned men. I myself included did it this week, gonna do it next week, and the week out, like for real. Like, I do think that there are stereotypes that are put on light skinned people, like you were saying. The very specific person you were directing that energy at was snobbish, and I have heard that about light skinned women, and even on that video that my friend posted, people were saying stuff like that in the comments. But I just felt like the episode opened with Diane and the lighting, and I felt like the light skin shit just overshadowed all that, and that kind of was like, oh yeah, let's go to the principal's office at the end of it. But I don't feel like it really, I don't really feel like they got as in depth as yeah, and I think it would have been more effective if it was someone darker than fucking Anthony Anderson and Jennifer Lewis. Like,
like, y'all are saying
it was cute, and I expect more of Blackish too, because they do usually tackle
those issues and go there.
Yeah, but this episode, I was just like, nah, this wasn't it. It was cute, but
good try.
I felt like that little video my friend posted on Facebook, the MTV Decoded thing, did a way better job than Blackish.
Right, and that literally was like 5 minutes long.
Yes. So I was like, this was cute.
Yeah.
But it was good for, topics. For this.
Right.
Yeah, I tried to freaking find, and I know for sure I mentioned this in a past episode, but that daggone Dark Girls documentary. But I was cheap and I didn't want to buy it. But it used to be on YouTube for the free, but somebody took it down, and that would have been. I remember watching that documentary, and it was so good. But like I said, I was cheap because I'm poor.
So I know that both on the Blackish episode and the YouTube, they kind of try to figure out where colorism stemmed from.
Yeah.
Like about the whole slavery thing, where the darker Black people are in the field and did more of the manual labor, where like the light skinned slaves were in the house, and that kind of created some type of tension between Black people. But the crazy thing is, it's not like the light skinned slaves was having a cakewalk. They was getting raped, my G. Like, so it's not like anybody had it easy. Like, they had their feet kicked up, eating crumpets and drinking tea. Like, shit wasn't sweet. It was just a different type of slavery that was going on in the house. But they're trying to say or what I'm gathering from both of those things are that over the years, there was always this, okay, well, lighter skin Black people are being put on this pedestal because being in the house was looked at being on the pedestal. And even later on in modern time, they were looking at, okay, well, they're more distinguished and educated, and darker skin are more not wild, but like more aggressive and good with physical stuff. And I don't know, like, do you think maybe it stems from that? Because I don't know where else that could come from is besides that inside of a race. Like, I don't know. Like,
I have no idea. I do want to point out though that if there are light skinned people in the house, that means the slave master had to rape somebody in order for that to happen. I mean, not to say that there weren't light skinned people in Africa, but 9 times out of 10,
They were descended from that master.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I I wish that we could get to a point where we could just focus on the fact that we have like shared experiences. Maybe
Mm.
not all of them, but the old like we're black. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
I think that's what my friend was really trying to say. Like we're all we all share the same experiences when it comes to racism, and
Mm-hmm.
to like further divide it, that can be frustrating. For me, I understand it. It's just like I'm very like, if you say you got an issue with something, eh, I'm gonna believe you because I'm not dark, so I don't really know how that feels.
Right.
My thing is like, what do we do to mend whatever differences it is between light skin and dark skin people? Because we got bigger things to be worried about. Like,
Exactly. I guess the jokes, and then it's a lot of stuff that isn't even inside of our race. Like I said, colorism, like media feeds into that shit as well, adding fuel to the fire. Where
mm-hmm,
like ads and campaigns where I
they'll
mean, it's
lighten
getting,
the
yeah,
skin.
they're lighting the skin, or they'll only pick like they're getting a lot better with commercials and ads where they're putting darker skinned women and men in commercials and ads. But I think it's because it's the trend right now, and that's what they're trying to do to appease us black people.
Yeah.
But like for a long time, you were only seeing fair skinned fair skinned black women or men on TV, and which I don't know if I agree. The one thing I didn't agree with the Dakota joint where they was making like Martin example, where they was saying like how they made Gina super educated and she was the girlfriend, while dark skinned Pam was like put down, and like she was always the butt of the jokes and all this stuff. But Pam worked with Gina. Like I don't think anybody ever called Pam dumb.
I don't think they call her dumb, but I definitely don't think that they painted her in the same light as Gina. Like I that's just my opinion. And she
Right.
was always I'm very torn when it comes to that example,
Yeah.
period, because for you know,
They were all a group of friends, and it's like your best friend's boyfriend is always gonna fry your ass. Like that's just the relationship. So I don't feel like for that sitcom, like he was coming for her because you dark skinned, and I'm gonna call you BDB because you dark skinned. Like I just feel like it was digs. What they fried each other, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know if that was a good example to me.
I I I disagree. I do know that Pam also worked with Gina. I just don't think it was highlighted as much as like when you saw Gina. Like I don't know how to explain it, because like on one hand,
Like they had that episode.
when you watch the show, all the dudes besides Martin was on Pam. Like all
Yeah,
of them tried to go smack at her. Tommy,
right,
Cole, everybody.
right,
Um, but it was just it's just little things that I would notice, like even their clothes. Like they both work at the same place, but like Gina's clothes would be a little bit more like conservative or a little bit more business casual, while Pam's maybe would be a little tighter. But that's if I think maybe that's if you're looking at the show in that way. Because obviously after
right.
I watched that Dakota thing, I did go back to look at Martin, and I had heard that argument um in the past about how they typecast both of them. Um but even taking Martin out of the equation, using Gina or Tisha Campbell again as an example, on House Party, there
Mm.
was Shireen and Sydney. Gina was
Um.
Sydney. Shireen was
Mm-hmm.
the doctor friend. So
Yeah.
Sydney lived in a house. She had both of her parents. She was the good girl.
Yeah.
While Shireen Darkman, she was from the projects. And although she didn't have sex in the movie, actually Sydney did, they kind of insinuated like she's the one that would be giving it up
The fast.
the
Yeah.
fastest, when in fact it was Sydney who was giving it up.
Buzzing it down.
Yeah. So, and then going back to Pam or to Sheena Arnold, when she was in Everybody Hates Chris, she was the loud cousin mom. Like,
Right.
uh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like Gina was going back to Martin. Gina was like the fun and understanding woman. She could get off a joke or two, but she kind of was like, for the most part, just in the background while Pam was the sassy one.
Right. I can see that.
So, and I think that was from what I've heard when people criticize the show. That's like one of their complaints because dark women were always put into those roles as being like the sassy one, the stupid one, the hoe, the this, the that.
Like even with Living Single.
Yes, and that's my
Yeah,
show.
I don't know.
Yeah, because she was a lawyer, but
But they always had her coming in stealing food,
yep,
cussing people out.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Touche, touche.
I'm trying to think. There was something else. I can't remember what it was. I had it written down, but fuck it. I think that's, and I remember Issa Rae, because I've been following her since she was doing Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, and
Mhm.
she said that she was going to do the show. I don't know if it was with HBO or if it was someone else, and she just decided to go somewhere else. But they actually wanted to put a licensed girl as, the leading role, and she fought against, yeah, and she fought against that, and she made it a point to make sure that her character's best friend will also be someone, that was similar in complexion.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that now, because Black people in general are getting just more roles and more recognition, we're
Mhm.
able to put the whole spectrum of Black
Yeah.
into these movies and these shows and all that good stuff.
Exactly. Not just typecasting. Well, this is the personality, so we need this color black
Right.
person. Right.
But if you look at like the early 90s, like it was the same women in all those leading roles. And I feel like the darker woman was always kind of the same one. Like someone was like, Robin Gibbons was the dark skinned woman of the 80s. And I was like, is Robin
She's
Gibbons
not
dark
even
skinned?
dark. I
I
didn't think she was considered dark,
that's
but I guess in
that
comparison to Halle Berry, I guess so.
right. But and that's when I read that, I was like, Robin Gibbons was the dark skinned girl. I don't know. I was just like, who knew?
I never knew.
Yeah, so uh, you know, I feel like everybody has to put things into context. We ain't been out here that long. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We
Right.
still trying to bust down these walls, no pause.
Oh, good.
So it's like I definitely understand the frustration, but we got to get in the door to make those changes. And now that we're in the door, I can, I can see the changes from when I was a kid to now.
Yeah, definitely.
I
For
mean,
sure.
anybody our age should be able to definitely recognize the changes. My only thing would be like if I am like blind to something, let me know so that I can correct it,
Right.
but don't harbor like some kind of resentment towards me without giving me the opportunity to like check myself and see if I am like living in my privilege, I guess,
Right.
and just wilding and not being sensitive to stuff. Like when um there's the same, I talk about this daggone group every week. So this one group that I'm in, they were talking about the privilege one time, and like people were genuinely asking like, so what can we do, like, so that we're not like being fucking colorist assholes. And people were like, bitch, you can Google it.
Oh,
Well, bitch, I'm asking you because
right.
you the one that's
Right. We're having a conversation, so I want to know. I was on Google it.
mad. I don't know. Like, so I'm just kind of like, do I just acknowledge that it exists? Is that all people want? Is for me to say like, yeah, I understand there's light skin privilege, even though I'm
But
brown skin.
right, like I don't think that's gonna change anything. Like it would have to be changed behavior. Maybe like when we were talking about the stereotypes and even within our race, just you know, I don't know, like not feeding into the stereotypes or the jokes or I don't know. I don't even have an answer on how to even change it.
I'm gonna. I'm well. My complexion jokes are always at light skinned people, even though I think I'm light skinned,
Hmm.
but I'm not.
I just lump you into my light skin jokes.
But I'm not. I'm brown. My Bitmoji is brown too.
And that's because it was Shay made. It wasn't. What you mean?
You be trying to make me the light skin emoji so bad. No, you be trying to make me the Spanish one, the
Yeah, I was
one.
about to say you be the Spanish one with the brown hair. You like,
No,
man, wait a minute.
fuck out of here. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I was when I was in college. I had a intercultural communication class,
Ooh.
and there was a Muslim woman, and she was not feeling me. And she made it a point to, for whatever reason, single me out every week. And she talked about my European nose and blah, 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 blah. And I was mad offended because I'm just like, first of all, bitch, I don't even know you like this. Like,
Be like, dog, like my nose, like I can't do nothing about this. What are you talking about?
and that's where my friend was coming from on her post. Like, am I supposed to apologize for a complexion that I didn't ask for? And it's crazy because her sister is a lot darker than her. Like
Mm,
my husband's brother is darker than him. And so, I mean, you can't help how you're like their parents, they have the same parents.
right.
And you know what I'm saying? You just come out the shade that you come out.
Exactly.
So she was just like, what the fuck am I like? What am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to apologize for being light skinned? And that's why I was just like, no, I just think you're supposed to acknowledge that you do have that preference sometimes. But then,
Even if in her definition it's not a preference, because like you said, she might not want that attention. So it's not like preferential treatment to her, it's an annoyance. But to somebody that may be darker who isn't getting that annoyance, it would be considered a preference.
yeah, I think people hear the word privilege and they think that as in like uh, a privilege is like a great thing or a reward or something like
It's
that.
just
Like,
some type of, even like you said, a preferential treatment is, it's you're getting extra attention or
right,
something extra that
right,
somebody else isn't getting based on just your skin color, whether it's
exactly.
wanted or not, like you said.
I would just love to know, like, after it's acknowledged, what then is the next step? Because when it comes to racism, like,
Acknowledging that enough.
no, acknowledging that there's racism is not enough. If your ass is white and you know that you got some racist ass white people around you, you need to check them.
Right.
I don't personally have in my life anyone that is color struck that I need to check.
Right.
So then what do I do with knowing that colorism exists? What the fuck am I supposed like what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to
I
just
guess the next time I make a Drake joke, you're like, hey, Dice, that's not cool. That's not cool.
but see,
Colorism. Like, I
but
don't
that's
know.
but that's where I feel like that Blackish episode did do a good job at because people make Drake jokes all the time, and I never hear anybody talk about colorism when we're talking about light skinned dudes. It's only
Right.
when we're talking about light skinned women
Right.
and dark skinned women.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Nobody's like, oh, Drake has feelings too,
Right.
and Drake is also biracial, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So I don't see that then. So that's when am I not supposed to get these jokes off? Because
Right.
like what am I supposed what am I supposed to do?
Right. Help us, listeners. How do we solve this?
I
We need to solve colorism. Help us.
fam, if I can't do Drake jokes, I can't do I just
We can't talk about nothing these
I
days.
really feel and this is gonna I'm gonna sound like an asshole because I really am getting to the point where it's just like I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Like
All
you
right.
said this in one of the earlier episodes, and I was like,
Yep.
no, we can still talk. We just gotta be sensitive.
No, we can't. We
And now I'm
can't.
just like,
Everything got to be censored. Everybody's feelings got to be taken into account. So you can't even get your 100% opinion out without offending somebody. So I'm just like, we just need to just shut the fuck up. Like just a world of mutes. Like what the fuck?
oh,
Yeah. I
I
could
don't know what
say
to do.
my damn my ass itch. Oh my goodness, that's offensive to people who don't have asses. I wish I had an ass to itch. Like, it's just any little thing, somebody's going to be offended about it these days. Like, what? Yeah, you do.
No, you use that as an example, but dead ass.
For sure. Somebody will
Somebody
swear.
got upset. No, I'm telling you, in like real life,
Well, shut
somebody
up.
somebody got mad at me because I was complaining about how I was gaining all this weight. And she was like, I mean, some people just wish they could gain weight. And
Oh my
you should
God.
just be, da 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 da. And I was like, well, then, bitch, here, have a thigh. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I don't want this shit. Fuck
Like, what are you
out of
talking
here.
about? Like, bring out the violins, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
We're so insensitive. We're trash.
No
Oh
us.
my gosh. We came in this episode with love, and now we're just like, bitch, fuck you.
Fuck you, I ain't saying shit.
I don't know. That's, uh, I don't
I
know.
don't know. That's
I
how we
don't know.
gonna end that. I don't know.
I hope that we can find a way to come together and
Cause we got shit that we need to fight and
yes,
not each other. We
it
got a bigger fish to fry, honey.
we really fucking do. We really do. I don't uh real quick, speaking of Kodak Black, you see he called Reginae Carter a little bald head bitch.
Well, first of all, he originally was talking shit about Lil Wayne.
I know.
And she went the fucking, as she always does, about anybody who's fucking talking about her father, which I love it. But I didn't see that he had responded to her.
Mm-hmm. In a video, he was saying he
You
called
already
her.
know now Toya about to jump in this shit because
Oh,
she
she
don't
already
play either.
did.
Oh shit, I'm missing all the tea.
Yeah, she came. The Shade Room posted his video, and she came in the comments and she was like, "Boy, fuck you."
Ooh.
And then he responded with, are you lucky I got a girl because you fine as shit," or something like was going smack at the Toya.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I was just like, that's crazy that he was going smack at her, knowing that he was just like, he only, he don't want to date
Right.
nobody that's, and I don't think Toya is dark skinned, but I don't think she's like
Like,
light bright
right at all.
either.
Exactly.
So for him to be like, um, you know, for him
Yeah.
to have that preference and then be going
It
smack at
ain't
Toya,
right. Like,
you
girl,
know,
you're confused.
I know it sounded like we were wrapping up this topic, but it just came to me. You know, they was trying to get my baby out the paint with that light skin shit.
What you mean?
Kendrick Lamar, for the listeners. Um, Kendrick Lamar is my first husband. JT is well aware that he is my second husband, and I will leave him for Midget Mac.
Oh my
That's what I
goodness.
call Kendrick Lamar because he's my fucking hype, but I still love him. Anywho, so when he came out with Humble, he has a lyric where he's like, "Show me something natural, like ass with some stretch marks," and he said something about Afro, like Richard Pryor, something like that. And so at that part in the video is a girl, and when she's all dolled up, and then it flips the screen, and she has no makeup on, her hair's not done, and the complaint was, she ain't even like that, ain't even no real Afro. She got 3C hair.
Oh my
And these dudes always talk about um light skin, dark skin, whatever, but then when they have a dark skin girl in the video, she's always like a certain type of dark skin girl, like Ryan Destiny. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's
No.
a character on Star. My daughter watches that show, but
Okay.
she's gorgeous as fuck.
I'm about to look her up.
Oh my goodness, she's so pretty. But they say like when there is a dark skinned girl that's like in a rapper's video, she's a very specific type of dark skinned girl. It's never
Oh,
someone that's
she
like,
is cute.
yeah, she's never like, it's like your Gabrielle Unions.
She
You know what I
remind me
mean?
of Juju.
Yeah, yeah. Juju's a good example. That's the type of model that a rapper will have in the video when it comes to dark skinned women. And they're like, it's never like, 4C hair, Lupita complexion.
Right.
And so they try to get my boo out the paint, but fuck y'all.
But everybody's criticized about everything, and trolls going to dissect everything. Like, it literally is a music video. Like, it's not a documentary. And they
I
can look at
know,
their
but they
lives.
started talking about his real life because his new fucking bitch is She light skinned or Spanish or something.
Mm.
Hispanic. I'm sorry, not Spanish. She's something, but it ain't. It
She
ain't.
checks the other box.
Yeah, she ain't Lupita with the 4C hair. So they was really trying to get my man up out of there, and I was just like, no, we're not doing that. No, because y'all didn't get these little mumble rap niggas out of here, so we're not doing that. You know, I be
Mm,
riding for my boo.
I
I ain't
know.
got time. Fuck y'all.
She stands.
So that was that was something that just came to me at the last minute. But yeah.
Cool. I guess should we move on to this documentary?
Child. Let's talk about your icon. Come
Yeah, I
on
don't know
now.
if y'all caught it, but HBO had I'm assuming it's only two parts
Yeah.
because when I pulled it up on my daggone cable, it says season one. I said, wait a minute, it's about to be seasons? What the
Bitch, I
hell?
almost spit my wine out. This red wine.
I was like, how much fucking tea y'all got on this man? Like, what the fuck? But anyway, they had a two-part documentary on Michael Jackson. It was called Leaving Neverland. And it really wasn't about Michael Jackson. It was about two guys, Wade and Jimmy, that were basically, they talk about the allegations of sexual abuse by Michael Jackson, as well as the after effects and all that stuff. So yeah, what's your feelings about that? Because I have a lot. Like listeners, you can go back if you want to watch it. Maybe you should hit pause, but it's going to be a long pause because like both episodes are like two
Or
hours
two
long.
hours. Yeah.
So if you got 4 hours that you feel like giving up, and me personally, towards the end of the second episode, I was starting to check out. It was kind of annoying me after a while. Like, okay, blah 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 blah. Like, I know, but
Jesus.
but yeah, if you have 4 hours that you want to dedicate, then go ahead and watch that, and then come back to our commentary. We don't want to mess it up for you, but
Uh
so I
okay.
guess where you want to start? Do you want to? I guess we can talk about the two people. Like the guy Wade, was from Australia, and he alleges that he was abused from age 7 to 14, I believe he said,
Yep.
and he was like this really big fan of Michael Jackson, and he was like really into dance and stuff like that. So he met Michael Jackson the first time because he was put into this dance competition, honey, at Target, baby. They do dance competitions at Target in Australia,
Yep.
apparently. And the winner was to have a chance to meet Michael Jackson. He actually was too young to enter the competition, but he was so lit that they was like,
They
look,
had to
we're
give it
gonna
to
put
him.
you in here and you're gonna win. He won, and basically he won tickets to like, I think Michael Jackson was there for the week or like 3 or 4 shows, I'm not sure, but he was in Australia for, on this tour, and he was gonna be there for a while. And he got to go to like literally all the shows. And he
On one
met
of them, he got up. He was able to get on stage and dance and
Yeah, he got on the
everything.
stage, and that's when he had a meet and greet and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
The other dude, Jimmy, he met Michael Jackson because he was into like doing commercials and stuff like that. Like he was
Mhm.
discovered by a random agent, was like, you really need to get him into commercials and stuff like that. His mom was like, all right, bet, give me a call. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And his first job was this Pepsi commercial back in '86 that he was casted for, and it was the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. So that's how he met. And I do have to say, I'm sorry, there were pieces in this story that were very reminiscent of surviving R. Kelly. And I was just
And
like,
abducted in plain sight.
look, I was like, I
And
just,
that's why I have conflict, internal conflict, but I'll get to that
yeah.
later.
But go ahead, tell me your thoughts on, yeah.
Tell you my thoughts on the whole thing,
I mean,
or
like, do
the
you want to,
first night, or like where we going? Are we? I I'm not recapping this shit.
yeah,
It's
it's a
too long.
lot. It's a lot. Long story short, they're both claiming that the parents, and even though they have two separate stories about what's going on, they were very similar in how they said, like, their interactions with Michael Jackson were, in a nutshell, like, it was, I guess, similar to the surviving R. Kelly, where like, hey, I'm a star and I want to befriend you and I can also help you with your career, whether it was the
Mm-hmm.
little boy that was into commercials and stuff like that. He also was into doing like movies and wanted to do that sort of stuff. And then the other guy was really into dancing and wanted to do choreography and blah, blah, blah. So, helping them with gigs and stuff like that. And then, everybody knows Michael Jackson. Mentally he was like of a kid, so he felt like he was lonely and this was companionship. So there were parts in the story to me that I want to say was sketchy, but then they showed pictures and I was like, okay, maybe it was true. They was just like a whole ass Michael Jackson was at their house chilling and walking down the street, like, and this was in the height of Michael Jackson's fame. And I'm just like, why would the fuck would he want to be at your house when he got Never Neverland? But then as soon as I would think that, they would show a picture of him in like what looks to be their humble house. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess he was there. But it was just certain things that didn't sit right. Like one of the moms at one point had sense and was like, one of the little boys was like, hey, can I sleep in the room with Michael Jackson? She was like, no, I just, even though as bad as he begged me and he wanted it, I wasn't with it. It didn't seem appropriate. So I was like, nah. Every time we went somewhere with Michael Jackson, because Michael would like invite them to Neverland and take them on trips, like, the family and the little boys would go. And she was like, every time we went somewhere, I made sure that he slept with me and, that sort of thing. So I was like, kudos to you. But, bitch, then later on, we had a mother that literally left her child at Neverland for a whole 5 days and went to the fucking Grand Canyon with the rest of her family.
Sure.
My G, I was like, and they said when she on the trip to while they were driving to the Grand Canyon, she started thinking, well, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. And I
Bitch, you
started
think?
talking about, and then I almost had a panic attack when I tried to call and I couldn't get through. It's too late, bitch. Like, you shouldn't have left your kid. I don't know if I'm just a hypersensitive, overprotective parent, but it's no fucking way. I don't give a fuck if it's Beyonce herself. I'm not leaving my fucking children with nobody at all. And definitely not for no goddamn 5 days while I go travel. It's not fucking happening. I'm sorry.
That's what I think between the similarities with this story and the R. Kelly story are that these parents are the ones that are getting caught up in the fame. Children, of
Mm-hmm.
course, are going to be looking like, oh my goodness, I see this person on TV every day, and now this person is here
And he's
in
my
my face.
friend, and
Right.
wow. Mm-hmm.
But
But they
your
was a whole ass 6 and 7, like literally when this was going on. So imagine the mindset of a 6 or 7 year old. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They get that pass. These motherfucking parents do not.
right.
I'm nah. And I'm not putting total ownership on the parents, because if these things are happening, then the person that is committing the crimes is obviously the responsible person. But it is your motherfucking job to protect your kids, my G. Like,
Yep.
if there's nothing fucking else, you supposed to feed them, clothe them, and make sure they know. Like, what the fuck? Don't put them in fucking dumbass situations. Like you said, I don't care if it's Beyonce. Bitch, I don't know you.
Right.
I
Nice
don't
to
know
meet you.
you.
It's
You
been lit, but I'm packing my children up and we about to head the fuck out. Like, I don't understand. Is fame and money worth putting your fucking children in risk or in harm's way? Like, I don't understand. Like, this one woman, one of the moms, like, literally packed her kid,
Yes, and
her
left her whole family.
dog, left Australia, moved to fucking LA to be closer to Michael Jackson, left her husband who was going through some shit with some mental
Mm-hmm.
health, then called for her other son to come down, and the man ended up killing
Killing
himself
himself. Yeah.
because he felt like, damn, like, I'm going through all this. I done lost my whole damn family. And then, like, bitch, like, what are you doing? And then, like, even to this day, when they were saying at the end, like, some of the parents, I mean, the kids don't, they was like, I don't hate my mom, but like, I'm still working on forgiveness with that because, like, I mean, like
Because this whole situation ruined their family.
ruined it the fuck. Not even like literally, like, their dad is gone because you left to go chase Michael Jackson. Like, you put your kid in a situation where he was alone with someone you don't know like that. Talking about, oh, I looked at him as like a son. Like, dog, you didn't know this grown ass man. Like,
That was my thing, like going back to the R. Kelly story when the parents were talking about how like R. Kelly came out in the crowd and he picked their daughter. And I'm like, so you let your 17-year-old go on stage for R. Kelly
so I've been to R. Kelly show, and it's
for
no way
what?
my young kid. First of all, you wouldn't be at R. Kelly show,
That
and
was my
secondly,
thing.
because I've been to one, and it's like, and not even the place for young kids. But then say you're 17, I'm like, all right, you can go. So you think I'm going to let you go on stage? Like,
What?
I know, no.
Yeah. Because when I heard that part, I was like, I'm sure he wasn't singing I Believe I Could Fly when he called her up on the stage. So what the fuck would you even think? Like, and so it's just, it's like the parents
Yeah,
are getting wrapped up in the fame. And at the end of the day, these people are still humans.
yeah.
They're still fucking humans. And they probably, and they, people, I just, I was so fucking annoyed with the moms. I was annoyed with Jimmy's mom the most because she was telling stories and smiling like
Like
she
she
was,
was reminiscing, like, yes, and
and I know that if my daughter was saying that someone raped her, molested her, even, and I'm not taking away the fact they probably do have good memories together, but fuck them memories.
right.
I could not imagine myself sitting there and being like, Michael just blah, blah,
Like,
blah.
like the other mom, the bitch was like, when I found out he died, I was happy. I was
Yeah,
dancing. I was like, "Ooh, shit."
fuck
She,
him.
she definitely was like, "Fuck that." She said, "I had one fucking job and I fucked it up." Like she
Yeah,
was keeping it 100% real. I was like, "I feel that."
that's me. Like, that
Mm-hmm.
would be me all day long. We're not sitting there talking about, oh yeah, he brought me a bracelet. Bitch, fuck you.
Right.
Like, I trusted you like a dumbass with my kid and you violated that. So, rotten hell.
Like
That's the
these,
energy I would be giving.
but these were babies. Like not making it different. Like when talking about the surviving arc, like. Like these were babies. Like these kids were literally like my daughter's age. Like so,
Hmm.
it stresses me out that you are entrusting your child. Like I get it. At the time, he was like the biggest freaking star in the world, but like they're still human. And I feel like one of the dudes. Which one was it? I don't know if it was Wade or Jimmy. He said like when he first met them, he felt like he met his idol, his God, and he was anointed. I said, y'all out here, what?
Wait.
Like he literally, I was like, yo, like they were. I get it, and I'm not trying to downplay how big Michael Jackson was because he was that nigga, but like I expect that from a kid, but
Not parents.
from a parent, you're there to ground them. And be like, I know, we're going to meet your idol, like, X, Y, and Z, but you also have to check your stardom and your
Right.
starstruckness to protect your kid. Like, okay, all right, we're going to get this help, but let's pump our brakes and chill. Like, I'm going to be with you at all times, and like, no, you're not going to do this. Like, they were so probably trying to have to come up too that they just like, oh yeah, I'm about to use my kid as a meal ticket, and
And
like, it's trash.
that's why I say kind of there was similarity. The similarities I saw between this documentary and Abducted in Plain Sight was that based on what they said, Michael
Hmm.
knew how to manipulate the parents.
Right.
They want to travel. He gifted one family a house. He gifted another
Hmm.
family a car. They would get
Taking them to
jewelry.
Hawaii and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
So he's seducing the parents,
Hmm.
just like B and Abducted in Plain Sight was, seducing the parents, but
Hmm.
then grooming the kid so that the kid is just like, you cannot share this information with anyone because if you do,
You going to jail and I'm going
and
to
I'm
jail.
going to jail,
But then
kind of thing.
one of the moms dumb because they was like they used to at one point stay next door, and she noticed every trip their room got further and further away. And then
Hmm.
at one point they was like, we was so far away from their room. We was just like, what is going on? And they took the excuse of, well, this is the nicest room, the hotel's booked or something like that. And I'm just like, you gotta be better than that. I will be like, well, until we get a room closer, I don't feel comfortable with my kid spending the night in his room and being across the damn resort or wherever the hell we staying at. Like, nah, fam. Like, we need connecting rooms and like you can see them in a common space because I'm not. Nah,
Yeah.
just the level of like common sense. I was just like, mm.
Now, with all that being said,
Mm-hmm.
there's some sketchy ass shit going on with these two dudes that was in this documentary.
Yep.
And so, while I am more inclined to believe victims than not, I cannot sit here on this podcast and act like I was not giving these niggas a fucking full
Look,
side eye.
look, I'm glad you said it because I ain't want to be typical Dice and this motherfucking be like, nigga, cap, 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 cap.
I'm well aware of people protecting their abusers.
Mm-hmm.
I am well aware of the psychological damage that happens when you are sexually abused. We have fucking sat here and talked about our own experiences
Right.
and didn't even get into some earlier shit.
Right. Exactly.
Okay? So we know. But nigga.
Dog, I'm just I,
Did you read the article that I had tagged you in? Did I tag? I didn't tag you in it.
no, I don't think. Maybe you did.
Damn.
I don't think.
There's this article about 10 facts about everything that's undeniable. Like
What in the
10
story?
yeah, 10 things about just everything, that's in the story, like as far as Wade, the dancer boy, he went on to testify twice
Twice, my G.
and said that Michael Jackson never did anything to him. Even after Michael Jackson died, he still was in contact with the Jackson family. He asked if he could choreograph on that one of the tours or celebrations of Michael Jackson's life or something like that. He was obviously hurting for money because he started to shop around this story. He was started selling some memorabilia.
But this is my thing, and this is I know this is probably where you're getting at. I get it. I understand, like, telling your story after all these years, even if you've been lying and saying that it didn't happen, and you finally feel like, you know what, I just gotta tell my truth to the world that actually it did happen. What are you gaining from healing by trying to sue for money? I didn't understand that part.
I didn't even look at it from that standpoint.
Like I just like they end up trying to sue.
Yeah.
Like, but what for what? How is that solving your healing? Like I don't
Right.
like how's that aiding in your healing? Like I
Right.
get telling your story. I get, going on USA Today or whatever, Good Morning America, because he felt like I need to tell the truth as loud as I told the lie. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, that's fine. Nobody is, taking that away from you, but then you try to sue? Like,
Right.
what? It's seeming like this is about money.
And that's the crazy thing. He keeps saying, the Wade person specifically, he keeps saying it's not about money, but all of his actions leading up to this documentary would suggest otherwise.
And it was stuff in the story that I just feel like was, if it wasn't a lie, it was a huge ass fucking exaggeration. Like the fact that Michael Jackson called every day for 2 years, and they would talk on the phone for 6 to 7 hours at
Well,
a
the
time.
parents were saying that. The moms were saying that.
That's a fucking lie. Like I'm sorry. Like I get it. Like I know it was times that Michael Jackson probably was like didn't have something to do, but I'm not fucking buying that this nigga called you every fucking day, 7 days a week for 2 years,
You
and
trying
y'all
to say
talk
that my
for
man had better things to do?
yes, no, like really for 6 to 7 a whole work shift. Like no, he wasn't. I'm not buying that. And then I know that's just gonna sound reckless, but
Well, my thing with that point was like, what fucking parents is letting their kids talk on the phone for that long? Because I feel like, especially back then, nigga, those was landlines, and that
for
shit was
sure.
probably long distance.
Like, dog, you tying up my dad online. Then you got the man, he bought a fax machine and he's sending you hundreds of fax a day. Like, come on, that's paper. You gotta buy paper for that. Like, what do you,
right?
This is back in the day. We have to put this in perspective. This was like in the late 80s, early 90s. Like,
Yeah.
unless you were stealing copy paper from your job, like you was having to buy this damn paper to put in this fax machine. You probably had to buy an additional phone line for this fax machine that's in your house. So now you got two lines, one for the house and one for the fax. Dog, like,
Yeah.
So unless Mike was paying for this shit.
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe if he was paying for it, but
Um,
uh
but I feel like when all that stuff was well, I don't know if that would have been against the law. I'm about to say during all the trials and stuff that would have came up, but I guess that's not really against the law because you could just be like, I'm cool with them. But
can I just say something without? I mean, I fuck it. I'm just gonna say it, listeners. I believe the Jimmy story. I do. I believe that something may have happened. I don't know if I believe everything he said. I do not believe Wade though. I
yeah,
just do not. And I feel so bad, but when I'm looking at everything,
the story that they telling the parents and then the aftermath, it just though,
I
and then to keep it 100%, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was one part in the story where he was talking about one of their episodes of during the sexual abuse and said that I guess Michael was performing um oral sex on him, on Wade,
mm-hmm.
and Michael Jackson made him grab his head and hold his head, talking about his hair felt rough like a
Like
Brillo
Brillo
pad.
pad. I
Nigga,
was
use
like,
a lie
what?
because Mike's hair was luxurious as fuck. So his head was not fucking feeling like no Brillo pad. Cap, cap, cap. Use a lie.
I feel really, really bad because the article that I read about the undeniable facts, there were other people that accused Michael Jackson, and
Right.
he settled those cases out of court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that could look like guilt to some, or that could be just like the one of the moms was saying in the documentary.
It's cheaper
It
to
could be
settle.
cheaper just to settle and let it, let it be over with.
Right.
The one thing that I cannot get over though is like Michael Jackson admittedly had fucking sleepovers with little fucking boys. And
Right.
that shit is weird. And he
Right.
admitted to that. He admitted that he didn't even see anything fucking wrong with it.
Right.
And so my thing, and this is what I'm saying that I don't believe one of the stories in this documentary, but I'm also saying like I have to figure out why and if
Mm-hmm.
it is a bias because I fucking grew up with Michael Jackson. Because if fucking random ass nigga down the street, if I found out that he had fucking sleepovers with little boys, and then 20 years from now, one of the little boys was like, "Yeah, that nigga raped me," I'm almost certain I would just fucking automatically believe that little boy, because I'd be
Right.
like, yeah, we all knew the nigga was having sleepovers with little boys. Like, it's not far fetched to believe that he was raping them.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I'm having a hard time believing, even with the one person I'm saying I believe, I'm not even saying I believe every fucking thing he's saying.
Right.
And so it's like, do I not believe it because it's Michael Jackson, or do I not believe it because of something else?
I think
Like,
it's a little bit of both because, like, yeah, we grew up and, to a certain extent, not like these boys, but, we kind of like looked up and idolized and we grew up listening to his music and stuff like that. And on top of that, like, I mean, we knew, like, okay, Michael Jackson is weird. Rest his soul. He was weird. Like, he did shit that to the normal or any person was like, all right, no more adults don't act like that. But we also know that he wasn't in his mental state, wasn't of his age, if that makes sense. So yeah, he acted like a child, blah blah. And I'm not making excuses because I'm not saying he didn't molest little kids, but I'm not believing these particular stories. Like, it's just I'm just saying it has a lot of holes in it that I need filled before I can be like, you know what? Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't.
because, okay, so because, like, there are uh, text, textbook characteristics of pedophiles.
Mm,
And so while watching the documentary, I'm looking at it and I'm just for real having a fucking struggle because I'm like, damn, that's textbook shit. But
right.
then on the other hand, I'm like, well, even I know that's textbook shit. So maybe this motherfucker's making it up because it ain't nothing to
Because it's
Google.
obvious, right?
Yeah. So today, actually, I was on Twitter and somebody had retweeted this whole thread about the dude who I actually do believe, and how he may have gotten his story from a book from a dude who was trying to pin these allegations on Michael Jackson for so many years. And Michael Jackson actually sued him for defamation and won the case. But the dude ended up just moving to a different country. He never paid Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson did win the case because he kept trying to paint this picture that he's a molester. But they were comparing the dude Jimmy's testimony to the book. And some of that shit was word for fucking word. And that's why I'm just like, because if you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile. Like, you have those similarities that a lot of pedophiles may have, and you probably do the same things with all the different boys. But then on the other hand, I'm just like,
it's too fucking similar.
It's so fucking similar. And then when Jimmy is saying like, oh, I saw Wade on TV telling his story, and so that's when I knew it was time for me to tell my story. So the skepticism. Yeah, there we go. You got it. And me, it's just like, he probably called Wade and was like, nigga, we about to cash in. Right. But I don't, and that's why I'm just like, what is wrong with me that I think that? Is it because of that it's Michael Jackson? Even with me knowing that Michael Jackson was weird as fuck and did weird shit. Because in the article, it talked about, they did an investigation and Michael Jackson had like wires and sensors in his hallway so that when people were coming towards his bedroom, he could hear. And they talked about it on the documentary, but it was like in that undeniable facts list. It was 10 of them. The other one being that, he had the skin disease. And so the color of his dick he had a spotty dick, basically. And so the first boy that accused him of molesting him drew a picture of Michael Jackson's dick and drew the spots and where they were. Wow. And the investigators went and took a picture of Michael Jackson's dick and it matched. That was a fact. Another thing was he had magazines, like porno magazines of like bondage, men and women. He had a very like pornographic picture that sat on his dressing, like on his table next beside the bed, that was out in plain view where these boys would have been spending the night at.
Oh yeah, since you're having the kids sleep over,
right? Yeah. And that they took fingerprints off of those porno magazines, and it was of Michael Jackson and little boys too. So it's like,
and all these are facts. Like, this is shit.
All of these are facts. I got the link. I thought I tagged you in it, but maybe I tagged you in that. I probably just tagged you in the colorism video and forgot to tag you in the article. But yeah, that it's like some of these things are like Googleable when it comes to that. And so with all fucking that, it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with me that I still don't believe these two gentlemen? Because that's a lot of shit.
Like, that is a lot of shit. Like, all the evidence and stuff. But I guess it comes in when, like, for me, with even similar with the like Bill Cosby thing. Like, I'm not saying that he didn't do it, but I don't think all of these accusers it happened to. And maybe that's my feeling with this whole documentary. I'm not saying Michael Jackson didn't have sexual abuse to some little boys. I just don't know if I believe one or both of these particular stories. So I think that's my feeling on it.
Because the legit would be, I mean, we know for a fact that they were around him a lot.
Because they had pictures. They had pictures.
Video, everything.
Right. And it was obvious that it was back in the day. Like I said, like they even corrected me when I was having thoughts like, that nigga wasn't at your house. And it was like, oh, we was waiting for y'all niggas that ain't believers. Here's a picture of him at our house. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I really feel like it's just an issue that maybe I need to work through. And it made me think about like R. Kelly, because there's a lot of people who just fucking refuse to believe that R. Kelly
Child,
ain't
look.
shit, even though we got videotape of the nigga, but
Right.
whatever, guys. But I'm just like, well, shit. This, like I said, if that was a regular person, if that was Joe, if Joe had all that fucking shit, like against him, and then 15 years from now, somebody was like, oh yeah, that nigga did X, Y, and Z, I'd be like, he did that shit. Like 50 Cent, he did that shit. So, I don't know.
Yeah, thing. But I do feel like, and like I said, towards the end when I was like, yeah, blah blah blah, I just feel like it was drawn out a little bit. Like I feel like they could have wrapped that shit and some of that stuff up a little bit quicker. But I don't know that second part. Maybe I was just over it and I was like, okay, like can we just get to the point? Like how y'all doing now? Like what are
Yeah.
we doing here? But it seemed a little bit long and drawn out towards that second episode. But y'all listeners, if y'all ain't watched it yet,
If
y'all
they
go ahead and
haven't
check it
listened,
out.
if they haven't watched it, they don't. A lot of people who said they just refuse because
They don't want to taint their memory of Mike.
they're just like, he's dead, he can't defend himself, or of course y'all come back out with this whole people are attacking black men theory, and it's just like,
Dog,
maybe
they taking down everybody.
yeah.
They say line these black idols up, we taking them niggas down.
Yeah, so I just feel like a lot of people just refuse to watch it, and I watched it, and I'm still sitting here saying like, I don't know, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is Michael Jackson. But to say that there is something that came out, even knowing that there were so many allegations against him, and to just be like, I don't want to watch it because fuck that shit. To me, that's willful ignorance, and
Right.
I mean, I'm not rocking.
Right.
Like, if you're just not into documentaries, then that's one thing. But like,
I'm not gonna watch it because it's that person, and I don't want to be
yeah.
saying, "Damn, you trying to say ignorance is bliss?" And like, nah,
Yeah,
you
like you
sound dumb.
being extra. So
Right.
I hope that I didn't offend anyone by saying that I don't believe the Wade character, and I hope that y'all heard that I'm acknowledging that it's probably some bias. So don't hit me up with the
If you're
bullshit.
offended, get over it. Like, what in life doesn't offend people these days? Like,
Side note, did you know that he's the reason Wade is the motherfucking dude that Britney Spears cheated on Justin Timberlake with?
no, but I know he mentioned that he choreographed her whole fucking tour. But I did
Mm-hmm.
not know. Ooh, spicy
Yes,
tea.
cry me a river. I
Oh, okay,
found
he
that
was
out on
just.
Twitter. I was
Oh,
like,
I wait.
yeah, bagged it.
Talking about Michael Jackson. Talking about can you link me up with Britney? It's Michael Jackson. If he wanted to get linked up with Britney Spears, he could just walk up to her ass. Like, all
Right.
right, let me stop. I'm not digging back up stuff. Anyway, let's see. I would bring up Ayala, but I guess I'll wait till part 2.
Yes, because I started watching it, I didn't finish. So,
Okay, so I'll wait till after part 2. Did you want to talk about your girl Jordyn
oh, I forgot about that
and
shit.
the Red Table Talk aloneness?
Honey, if you follow us on Twitter, just know that like 98% of the time, I'm the one that's tweeting. And I had all the jokes. And at one point, I was like, Dice likes Khloe Kardashian. So I'm sorry, these tweets only represent my opinion and my opinion only, because I was getting them jokes off, honey. I was retweeting everything.
Oh, did you watch Red Table Talk?
Yeah, girl.
Oh,
At work.
oh. So what what are your thoughts? Because I know I have my thoughts.
I think that Jordyn is lying, but I'm standing beside her and the Smiths. God damn it.
And the Smiths, fuck them. Look, let me clear my throat. Let me tell you something. Hashtag trashy Tristan and Janky Jordyn. Let me tell you something. But also caught up as Chloe. Cause look, y'all niggas is crazy. The only motherfucker that I'm feeling sorry for right now is Kylie. Like, fuck y'all niggas.
Why Kylie?
Because her fucking best friend is trash as shit. I'll be mad as fuck.
But her whole family is trash as shit. She's trash too.
I don't see it. But look.
They stole every nigga they have.
Who did Kylie steal?
Tyga from China.
Oh my
When she was
God.
mean?
Oh my God.
She stole Travis Scott from Justine Scott. Now used to be
Look,
her friend.
this is my problem. I am
Okay.
tired of people saying that men are being stolen. That is a fucking pet peeve of mine. Men
For
cannot be
sure.
stolen. These
For
niggas are
sure.
trash.
I
And they're
agree.
out there. So we can't sit up here and blame. If it was my best friend and my best friend slept with my sister, baby father, like, uh, what the fuck? Like, he wasn't stolen. That nigga smashed her willingly or kissed or whatever the fuck you want to say happened. Like, no, let's stop saying that niggas is being stolen. Y'all niggas are leaving willingly or y'all
No,
fucking these joints willingly. So I just be getting annoyed when
I
people say
agree
that girls
wholeheartedly.
stealing dudes. Like, no, no one
I
got stolen.
agree. But if you're my fucking friend, then you gotta keep that you gotta keep the same energy. Your fucking sister was friends with, so if me and you are friends and then you fuck your sister fucks JT, and then a couple years later the same shit happens to your other sister, but it's her, her nigga's the one that's creeping with somebody else. It's just like I don't have sympathy.
No, I get it. Like, I'm not saying being like, okay, Chloe isn't fucking trash, because like I feel like you dead ass wrong for talking about, oh, Jordyn, you broke up family. No, your trash ass baby daddy broke up your family. So cut the fucking bullshit. I get it. You're emotional. You're in your fucking feelings that you looking stupid out here. Like, I get that.
Again.
Right.
Again.
Again with the same nigga. Like, you're looking dumb and you're stuck with a baby. But anyway, I get that part. But I don't get the fucking part that Jordyn is this fucking victim and, oh, woe is me. First of all, your fucking story, you're a fucking liar. Like, even in Jada's face, she was looking like, bitch, you lying. She was like, oh,
But you know
ooh,
what?
yeah.
She
Like,
said, not in my black ass house. We're going to protect us today. And that's all I'm saying. I believe Jordyn is lying like shit. I believe they smashed.
dog, they fucking fucked.
Because
First
all
of all,
this is not over no kiss.
this is not over no kiss, and her story was sounding stupid, talking
Yeah,
about, I don't
it definitely
understand
did.
why people would think that it was a lap dance. All I did was sit on the arm of the chair by him. Oh, and my leg was across the bottom of his leg. Bitch, he's an NBA player. If he's fucking sitting in a chair, the bottom of his leg, like, it's not making sense. It's not adding up. Bitch, you fucking sound stupid as shit. And I get it, because that is their goddaughter. So, like, we don't want you to look out here. And I banged with Jada's mom because she was like, basically, we let our little girl behavior get us in some grown woman mess. And basically, that was the realest shit in that whole last episode. In a nutshell, your ass did some shit that got you out here looking stupid. But luckily, you have the support to turn this shit around and save face. I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with Chloe with how she's going about the whole emotional shit necessarily just attacking Jordyn. Like, I understand, like, the feeling like, well, damn, like, you was a part of our family. I considered you a sister. Like, that's kind of trash as shit for you to do that to. Regardless, I mean, that she's trash too for doing whatever the fuck she did in her past. But it's like, I'm not about to sit up here and paint Jordyn as no fucking saint or no hero. Like, bitch, you trash too.
Well, come on over to Shay then, Jordyn, because my mammy titty is out for you. Come on,
Go
rest your
ahead,
head on my shoulder. Because I just
janky
feel like
Jordyn.
the Kardashians and the Jenners been doing the same shit that Jordyn did. And so they need to take this karma, this energy. They've all fucking done. The only two that made, no. Because I feel like I saw something about Kendall too. So the only one that ain't did nothing with nobody else's dude that they were, is Courtney. Everybody else, they were friends with somebody and their sister ended up fucking with them. Hell, they were fucking people that their sister already fucked, like the game. So that's why I'm just like,
This is
I
my question.
I don't
Because niggas get cheated on every day. Would it be this much energy if it wasn't about the Kardashian family? I feel like black people, it specifically, hate the Kardashians so bad that niggas be rooting for bad shit to happen to these niggas. If this was like a random ass fucking family or a black family, I'm sure it wouldn't be getting this much energy like
if
this.
if
That's
a
all I'm
black
saying.
family had a history of doing the shit that is happening to them, and I'm not disagreeing because I know I don't like the fucking Kardashians
It's a
at
lot of
fucking all.
niggas that don't.
This is the most energy I've given these motherfuckers in forever. But I'm saying if there was a black family and they had a fucking history of their sisters taking their supposed friends I'm sorry, not taking, but sleeping with their supposed friends, dudes, boyfriends, whatever the case may be, and karma fucking bit them in the ass. I do feel like Black Twitter would still be like, haha, like,
Nah.
because it's karma. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer in karma. So when Twitter was listing all of their transgressions. Fucking Chloe had Lauren London up in her wedding and slept with Trey Songz. Fucking,
With Trey
I
Songz?
mean,
What, Lauren used to mess with Trey Songz?
yeah.
Oh,
Look,
I ain't
Trey
know.
Songz even said that, girl, they posted that clip too, in case and you know I hate Trey Songz, so this is not knowledge I would have had prior to this whole thing. They listed all of their fucking Kim shit, Chloe shit, Kylie shit. I just don't have no sympathy because it's just like y'all motherfucking made y'all famous off of this type of shit, and y'all go about it, and nobody says anything. And when somebody does, it's looked at like just bitter Black bitches. So
I'm not buying. I'm just fuck that. I'm not. Even if all of that is the truth, I get it. The Kardashians is trash. They fuck the whole world. I'm still not rallying behind fucking Jordyn. Like, nah, bro, you're not a victim. I don't like how at the red table talk, then you try to make it some black shit, talking about, oh, because I'm
Jada
a
did
black
that.
woman. Like, nah, fuck that shit. Get the fuck out of here and like just wipe the pie off your face and like keep it pushing, bitch. You
But
got money. It
see,
ain't like you needed the Kardashians to have money. Like you already got money. You apparently already got your own business. Just scoot your boots and go your merry own way. But I'm not
so
about
I
to
have a
rally
problem
behind
with
you.
that too, though, because I do feel like they were laying the Black shit on a little thick. Pause.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the energy up until the red fucking table talk, that girl was getting a lot of energy from everybody. People was slandering her. When the fucking Kardashians do it, it's only like us, like the people that don't like the Kardashians, that really make a big deal out of it. But nobody else fucking does. Everybody else still glorifies them. So I do kind of feel like and it may not have, excuse me, anything to do with her race. It may just be their celebrity that protects them from the backlash that they should have fucking very well received from all the trash ass shit that they've done all of these fucking years. um that's just my opinion. I'm just not beating her up when I'm not beating her up when motherfuckers ain't beat up the Kardashians in the manner that they should have for their continued lack of fucks for everybody else's man out here in the industry. That's just me. On this side, Jordyn, you have a safe space with Shay.
Well, bitch, you janky over here with Dice. But I did hear on one of the little gossip joints that first of all, Tristan is such fucking trash. Like, I don't understand. Like, this nigga is
And this
like,
nigga skating under the radar. We over here talking about Jordyn, and
but this
nobody
is
be
the
talking
thing.
about this
They
nigga.
said the whole time, like, the tea is like this nigga's been trying to like not be with Chloe the whole fucking time. So apparently, he orchestrated this whole Jordyn shit supposedly so that this could be a reason for him and fucking Chloe to
And
fucking
she's
break up.
still like, "Oh, my family."
She's fucking dumb talking about, oh, because he's a
That
bitches
dick is
are
amazing.
look, bitches are single moms every day. B, you have
Every
enough
day.
money to fucking support your own goddamn child, so please move the fuck on and leave this nigga alone. Apparently they were like she similar to, I don't know if you remember back when Jessica Simpson was dating, what's the motherfucker who was the quarterback for Dallas,
Tony.
Tony Romo.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking Dallas Cowboys hated that bitch because like every time she was there, it was just a distraction. Apparently, it's the same shit with the Cavs. Like they hate Khloe Kardashian. They hate like the whole ruckus and the drama, and they say it's bringing down like Tristan and like as far as like basketball contracts and all this other stuff. So like
That's the
apparently
Kardashian curse, though.
he
All
fucked
them
her
niggas.
and
But
skeeted in her. So not only did you fuck the joint, you had a baby by her, went on the show. Like you're not. Tristan's definitely not getting no fucking sympathy from me. Like
he don't get no sympathy from me either, because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers know what it is, and they keep falling for it because of they're cute, they're nice, they're fame. I don't know what it is, but it's just like,
I don't know.
are y'all fucking stupid or are you dumb? Like, I don't understand.
It's so many bitches in this world.
So fucking many. And
These the joints that you knock up. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, I say, oh, that's interesting. But yeah,
Team Jordyn
mm,
for me, for Shay.
team Janky Jordyn and Trashy Tristan.
I will be the.
Mm-mm. I can't stand behind it. If I ain't standing behind the Kardashians for cheating, I'm not standing behind her because she black.
But you was standing behind Kardashians because you still watch that damn ass show.
So
That's
I'm standing
supporting
behind them because
them.
that bitch on the show too.
I don't know. I don't know. She's listen. I have not watched that show since I think when Reggie Bush and her were together the first
Oh,
time.
bitch. She had
Yeah,
a whole nother face back then.
I know. I was going to say that, but I thought that was going to be insensitive. So I
Nigga.
mentioned Reggie Bush the first time. So I have not watched a single fucking episode since then. So I don't
Oh,
know if
no.
she's on the show or not.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
just
on the show.
saying. But the show is called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They're going to be able to have this season with or with, their show with or without her.
Well, obviously, they have some type of non-disclosure that the bitch fucking signed. It was certain shit that she couldn't even say.
I
So,
felt like
uh,
the Smiths could have came up off that 1 million for us to get the tea. Because it was on the non-disclosure agreement, from my understanding, it's only a 1 million
I'm
penalty, and they
sure.
got that.
I'm sure in privacy, Jordyn already told Jada, and she probably was like, "Oh, that tea ain't worth 1 million. You straight. Just
I
don't say
feel
it."
like she could get more than double that if in a tell-all book if she really wanted to keep it spicy. But
Maybe the tea ain't that good.
I don't believe that. But okay.
I just don't see Jada talking about here's a meal to give me some tea.
I'm saying I don't think they would. I'm just saying they should. Like for
No.
me.
Shut the fuck up. Bye. All right, next topic. Talking about for me. Let's see. Any shows? Like I gotta check and see what shows you caught up on.
Girl, none of them.
So not no Real Housewives.
Oh, I did. I just watched that today.
Dog
I
Nene
know.
needs counseling.
Yeah, she does. I
Like
don't know why she
literally,
keeps having group events when she needs to be having some therapy.
dog. She definitely need to be in therapy with everything she going through with Greg, and then she was like, they was rocky before his whole cancer thing. Like, dog, like I ain't seen her break down this much in all these seasons, my G. Just in
Yeah.
this one daggone season. So that's rough. Did you see that? They're gonna have Married to Medicine LA.
I saw, but I haven't been following it because it looked
Um,
fake.
well, it hasn't started yet. So they
No.
had an episode which I was hyped because I thought the regular Married to Medicine was back, and it actually was an episode of them going to LA. Like I think it was like Contessa, Heavenly. Who else went? Quad and what's the loud one name? I already forget her name.
Toya.
No, not
No,
Toya. The
not
other loud
Toya.
one.
Simone.
Simone. They went to LA because I guess one of the ones in LA went to college with Contessa. So it was kind of like an introduction to the joints in LA, and then their season starts, I think, like in a week or so. So it hasn't started yet, but some of the girls seemed interesting. One of them was hella annoying, but I'll probably watch it just for the fuck of it. What about Love and Hip Hop? You caught up on that?
Girl.
No.
So I've decided with Love and Hip Hop that I will watch the reunion shows so I
And
can get a recap, but I cannot do those shows. They're really
even
fake.
oh yikes. Even the New York
Mm-mm.
one?
Mm-mm.
Miami's annoying.
Mm-mm.
I can't with the Miami, but
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I can't do it.
So not even Atlanta when it starts because
Mm.
that look like it's about to be spicy.
No, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen anything. I can't. I just.
It hasn't came on. How are we going to have a podcast discussing reality TV if you won't watch it with me?
Um.
Listeners, y'all need to get on Shay and tell her to watch these damn shows and catch up. You hear me?
Okay.
Did you hear about Erica Mena and Safari launching the YouTube channel?
No, I don't want to see that.
All right, listeners, we thank you for tuning in.
I don't want to see Erica Mena in the Safari show. I don't. I feel like it's their whole thing is extra.
Well, I heard like as recent as today that apparently he fucking around on her already. So, cool.
I mean,
But anyway, I guess we done with reality TV. We can't even talk about that on our podcast no more, listeners. I apologize.
no, we can. I just haven't caught up with Iyanla. That's reality. And then Real Housewives of Atlanta. We just talked about that. I like the original Married to Medicine.
And that's about it.
we can get these Netflix documentaries off once I get back on that. Listen, so anywho, let me tell you a quick story. So, are you familiar with the Instagram page Famous, or now Gossip in the City?
Yes.
Well, on this page, they often talk about the dark room and how you gotta pay to get in.
It's pretty lit.
I was adamant about me not paying for tea.
I've been a member since like last year.
Okay. So I finally broke down and requested to, be a part of the dark room.
Mm-hmm.
I got an email. Hey, pay. I fucking paid.
Oh, you gotta send a screenshot.
Yep. Send me a screenshot. Sent the screenshot. Waited a couple days. Hey, here's the email. What's going on? My Gmail, I have 2 Gmail accounts. And so there's, dependent, it like changed basically. So like I have, when I double back to be like, hey, what's the status of my account?
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally sent it from another email account.
Oh
my God. So I like forwarded the email. I sent receipts. Like, I'm the same person. It's just, my bad. Okay. So got a link to the dark room. She goes, make sure you set up your account, put a real picture. I do all that. I get an email that says, hey, what's your IG? Now, recently, I deleted all of my old pictures, and I only have pictures from this year on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I made my page public
in
the process. So you can see all of that. And one of the pictures is in one of my highlights. The picture that I have on, that I had set up for the dark room, was in my little highlight section. I get an email back that is like, yeah, I'm going to have to refund you your money. I was like, oh, that's what's up. But why? Yeah, I can't say.
Like,
my nigga, I did not get access to the dark room. I got my money back. And I mean, I'm cool because I got my money back, but I'm like, I don't understand.
So what are they trying to say? It's like a fake account or something? Like, I mean, either way, it's you paid. I'm so confused.
I mean, that was my thing. It was like, I paid, I set up the account. Even if you're looking at my page and you only see that I have 6 pictures, you can literally see that I've been tagged in pictures since the start of fucking Instagram. Like, when you could tag people.
Even if it's a fake page, like, you got your money.
I paid.
Like,
right.
It shouldn't be about money and it's a real person. Like, I know when I originally joined, they asked me what mine was linked to my Facebook, not my Instagram. So it was hella old, but because I think I was a part of the Facebook group back in the day when it was free.
Yeah, because I do remember it started that way. Yeah, so I did not get access. So fuck that page. I just blocked the whole page because now I'm pissed. Because I'm just like, I'm not even somebody that's that pressed to get the tea. So the fact that I was willing to fucking pay, and that shit is
and then had to go through all of that.
Yeah, and then you coming at me like I'm like, what the fuck do you think I work for the shade room or something? I was just so fucking annoyed. So fuck them.
Like, that was so fucking extra.
So extra. Like, I was like, it's just not meant for me to have a tea, and I don't give that much of a fuck. So
dog, that was super extra.
Yeah. But now that I know you have access,
girl, I can screenshot whatever you need. Let me stop before they shut down my account.
Right.
Bitch, we heard your podcast. And we fucking tagging Fee in my goddamn shit. I'm all, look.
The feds.
Right. Let's see. I guess what? Good, bad? Is that where we at? Oh, you got any tea? Anything?
I have no tea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We did a lot of tea with this documentary, I guess.
For sure. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I can go first. I guess I keep it quick. I guess kind of quick. What do we start with? The bad? Bad and good. Okay, so bad. Try to make this story as quick as possible. This bad. This week is it deals with the word audacity, which means the willingness to take bold risks, being rude, disrespectful behavior. Let me tell you something.
All right, Websters.
People are going to get fucked up based off audacity. This weekend at this freaking cheerleading competition. This is an all-star cheerleading competition. These are young kids, mainly girls, that families are here to see them compete in cheerleading. It doesn't get more wholesome than that, in my opinion. Like, it don't get more wholesome than a goddamn cheerleading competition. Anyway, we got to the competition for the last day kind of early because we wanted to get good seats. So we got the first 2 rows dead set in the middle. So I'm trying to keep this as short as possible because it definitely could be like super, super long. But pause. Ooh. But
Ow.
so we're sitting in the rows. Well, I was a little bit late. I came and one of the moms like that I'm cool with, she gave me the raised eyebrows like, bitch. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? What happened? She was like, I'm about to fucking fight some of these people in here. I said, no, man, we can't. We cannot do that. We are representing their team. We can't do that on the first 2 rows. Long story short, there were others that so we had the seats where some of the parents were sitting there, and then where the girls were sitting, we put their cheer bags in there because they had to go in the back because they were about to perform. Well, apparently these others wanted those seats, and they were like, you can't save seats. And we're like, they're for the girls that are performing. It's not like we're waiting for parents to come show up and we're saving it for them. Like, literally, you see their cheer bags with their names on it. And I'm sure you've been sitting here long enough to see that they got their ass up and went in the back. They called security on us.
Oh my God.
And security was like, you cannot save seats. And if somebody comes and picks up these bags and move them, you can't do nothing about it. So this was a green light for these others to pick up these girls' bags, some whose phones were sitting on them, some of the phones had dropped. So it was a shit show. So we were fucking...
I would have
dog. I wanted to lose my shit. Then I was like, in my mind, I'm just like, yo, I can't stand others. But oh no, my people say, honey, let me do you one better. So we're sitting there on the front row. And it's a black team. They're about to perform. And a couple of the moms or family come up and was like, hey, can we sit here? Mind you, like, the whole row's taken. The last 2 seats was my daughter and somebody else on her team. And they were standing by their seats, but they were standing up like playing, kids ain't sitting still. But our whole front row was like, we were actually in our seats. And they came up and was like, hey, can we sit here? So we looking around like, sit where? They was like, right here. And so one of the moms was like, and where am I supposed to go? She was like, them seats not yours. Y'all can't scoot down. Like, our team about to go on. I said, oh, no, look. One of the mothers is like, I mean, churchy. But I'm telling you, the New York was coming out of her. She was like, look, I don't know what's going on, but I need to get the hell out of Richmond. Because, look, I said, they about to take all of us to a place we are not trying to go. So we were just, like, looking at them like we're stupid. Like, I'm not getting out of our seat because you want to freaking sit here. Long story short, these motherfuckers plopped their asses right down on the floor in front of us. I want to kick them in the back of the head. But I had to remember that I was at a wholesome event. And I just want y'all to know, y'all need to stop trying people out here. Because y'all caught the right group of people that actually cared about the cheer organization and what their kids thought. Because if y'all would have caught some other people, it would have been a brawl in that cheerleading competition. And I need y'all to get y'all life. That was a long story of term. Yeah. Good. Let me break it down super quick. But I just want to say that I am starting to try to take baby steps to, what's a little phrase, no longer missing the forest for the trees. I tend to stress so much about the day-to-day stuff, and like it gets overwhelming, and I think that gives me, I don't want to say anxiety, but feelings of anxiety, because I'm thinking about all the millions of things that I have to do and what I'm not happy about, when I should be looking at the bigger picture, that just appreciating my life and appreciating the stuff that I do have. So I am doing better at that. So that's not good. Sorry I took so long.
Mine is really quick because I don't be giving nobody that much fucking shine. But this week, a simple fucking misunderstanding took a fucking sharp left turn. And, I felt like the old me came out. The old me thinks that I could fight anybody, men included.
But I don't feel like the old you came all the way out, boo. I still think you still kept it classy.
I don't feel like I did. And I actually, I was talking about it with my husband because I really was like, what the fuck is even happening right now? Right. Like, it's not that serious.
I think everybody was that way.
Until some things were mentioned, But so that was the bad. The good though, I think, like right before we started recording, my husband was just like, he sees all the work that I'm putting forth to really try to better myself in all
Yes.
aspects of my life. And so it's really good when, people just acknowledge that growth, because I was looking at that incident like, girl, you just cannot be out here, you know, ready to fight
But
everybody.
but
But
everybody
I
else
was.
seen the restraint and how long it took you to get to that point, and we see your growth as well, boo. And we applaud you.
So I just don't want to let like people get me out of my zone, because I'm trying to move forward.
Right.
Um, one thing about me, I don't have like too many secrets. I'm very open about everything. So it just kind of pissed me off when a motherfucker think that they have like some info on me, because I
Right.
like what I be telling all my business on this podcast like every fucking week. So like I don't know what this person was thinking, but it was
Like you
just like,
have no tea. What are
you
you
have
talking about?
my Nick. So I'm just hoping that in the future, like, y'all will respect my growth, but never get it
Test me.
confused. Like, I will, I will come to your state. Like,
Don't
me,
test my
me and the
gangster.
Sonic, we get busy. So if I gotta drive the little engine, I could. All right. I say that with love, because I don't want no
With
smoke,
peace and
but
blessings.
right. I don't want no smoke, but I mean,
I'll bring the pipe if you need
I mean, no boss. So
it.
that's all I got.
Well, look, listeners, we appreciate you for tuning in. We also especially thank you for this episode, for bearing with me in this smoker voice that I got going on. I'm sure it was horrible to listen to for the past hour or so. So, as always, we ask you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, repost everything. Go to our Instagram and our Twitter, follow us and comment and everything. The Chatty Pattys, or at
Yep,
the
yep.
Chatty Pattys, our website where you can find all the freaking links to everywhere we're streaming. www.thechattypattys.com. And yeah, like I said, we thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.